Hi, so in this video I want to go through some of the details of the parts after I've taken it apart from the shower. So I've struggled through this and I didn't see any videos on how certain things would look and what the parts actually look like inside. So here I've taken out my the shower. So you'll see typically there's the shower here, and this is a Kohler. So you'll see there's two things in the back, and right there's some type of spout that goes down. And I've taken out everything here because I wasn't sure. I had a leaky faucet and I wasn't sure what exactly was leaking. And I'm going to end up replacing both parts because it's not worth an O-ring wearing it, or another part breaking and me having to do this all over again a year or 2 or 3 from now. When I took this part out, I actually had a lot of issues. The part that goes in here is like this, and there's actually 2 O-rings here that I've taken out. And what happens is those 2 O-rings on this side matches up to, if you could see the clean brass there, pushes up against those 2 holes. So what normally you do is you put this in and you have to make sure it aligns with those 2 holes. But when I was taking it out, the other piece that was in front of this is the so-called mixer. This piece here is actually called the Pressurizer. So let me flash my light here. So that's called the Pressurizer there. And that part is actually $50. But regardless, it'll probably cost me less to replace both than to actually have it to take it apart again. So this here is the mixer, and it goes in like that, and there's 2 screws on the left and right that I have to take out in order to take this out. But when I took out the screws, this didn't come out, and instead when I pulled it out, it actually broke. And you'll see here when I took it out, it broke into 2 pieces. And I saw a lot of people on the internet where theirs just came out right away. And this isn't a faucet that's all that old. It's about 6 years old, and this is a Kohler. So when I pulled it out, this thing was actually still stuck in there. So this piece was actually still in here. And the only thing that came out was this. And at the time, I couldn't figure out what was going on because I wasn't sure if this was a separate piece that I buy or if there was actually a piece stuck in there. So I was trying to examine some of the videos that other people had, and I couldn't figure that out until I actually bought the part. So I'll go through the replacement parts also, either in this video or if it gets too long in a part 2. But this is the part that broke off. So what I ended up doing was I was using my pliers to try to pull this out, in which case the plastic itself just broke off. So you'll see there's like a bunch of cracks, even when I thought over there was a solid piece. It actually wasn't, and it just broke off. So I had to just use pliers and go around and pull it out bit by bit. But this itself is also held together by just O-rings being pushed inside those 2 holes. So that's how these 2 parts fit together. And they're sold separately, this part and these 2 parts, which are supposed to be one part, one piece. So also when I pulled it out, there were 2 springs that just came off. So you'll see here, there's actually 2 springs here that seat in it that came off. But you wouldn't have to worry about that when you buy these two replacement parts. So this part here cost $40, and this part here cost about $50. So it doesn't appear there's actually a top or bottom here, but also it looks a little bit tough to place because there's no center here, so it actually does move back and forth, but for the most part it should seat fairly perfectly. And again, let me try to get a good angle of this so you could kind of see what it looks like. Okay, so now, also, here are some of the O-rings that came out when I took it apart. And these are all in the replacement parts, and I'll go over that next in a part 2 of this video. But I really just wanted to give you a detailed view of what's inside after people take it out, because I think it's very easy to figure out the screws and just turning a screw here and there. But what exactly do you do when your situation looks different than you know, the typical, you know, screw in and you pull it out and it works perfectly? So in my case, that didn't happen. Stuff broke off and I wasn't sure if you know, what I should do. So okay, let me do a part 2 of the new parts I bought. All right, thank you for watching.